Hello and welcome back to the channel. Last time in this video, somewhere up here or down in the description below, the title was How Not to Sell a Car. The worst buying experience, and it was, if you recall, if you watched it, I was trying to buy a car over the internet from a dealer in Jackson, Mississippi, who had a car kind of like what I wanted. It wasn't really what I wanted, but I would have bought it if they had not known how to sell cars. And you can watch that video to see how badly that went. But my friend Brian and I had blocked out all day that Friday to drive down to Jackson, Mississippi to buy the car and drive it back. So since we had the day free anyway, and we're at lunch, and Brian says, well, you know, my wife Chris has an old friend that she's known for many, many years who's a sales manager at a Dodge dealer hereabouts. Why don't we go see him? And I thought, well, wouldn't it be funny if maybe we could get this dealer here to do a dealer trade to get that car from Jackson, Mississippi, and get it up here, and I could buy it from them with a lot less drama, and if you watch the video, a lot less dealer additional overcharge nonsense. Like the Seinfeld episode where Putty's buying the car. Well, additional dealer overcharge and finder's fee. It's on the lot. Anyway, so we drive up, we go up to the dealer up there. And if you recall, I have here a picture. Now, this is what I really want. I really want a Scat Pack wide body. Now, the wide body costs an extra $6,000, and I've also put the shaker package on here, which is an extra $2,500. So I've kind of got it up close to $59,000. Which is a little above my range, but you know, what the heck. And I figure we'll see, you know, what they can find. So we get to the dealer. And they have a couple of Challengers in the showroom. I think they had 3 actually in the showroom. And we looked at those, and they weren't exactly what I wanted either. I mean, it's hard to find exactly what you want at a dealer because they order what they want and you got what you want. Anyway. So, and by the way, great dealership. They leave us alone and let us wander around for a while. Now, we want to talk to somebody, but they're really it's kind of busy for a Friday afternoon in December. And not long after we get there, somebody comes out of an office in the back and rings a bell on the wall, and everybody claps. So apparently that's a car sale at this dealer. You know, when you sell a car, you ring the bell, everybody cheers. So they ring the bell. And after a while, after we've looked at the cars and wandered around a while, we finally get someone to pay attention to us. By the way, this is I love that in a car dealer when you have to get their attention because they're not all over you the minute you walk in. So we get their attention. We say we're looking for Shannon Bartlett, who's the sales manager. And he was busy right then and there, but he finished up with who he was working with, and he came and talked to us. And I told him about the deal in Mississippi and what I was looking for. And I said, now, you don't really have what I want, but I thought maybe you could do a dealer trade. And, you know, blah, blah, blah. And we talk back and forth. And he says, well, what do you want? And I run down. You know, I explain, you know, this is what I want. And he says, well, let me see what I can do. And he said, in the meantime, this is Brian Hughes, one of our salesmen. Brian, take him out on the lot, because we just had a few more come in, so maybe there's something out there that might catch his eye. So, and there's 2021s have come in. So go look at our 2021s that we have on the lot while I get online and look around and see what we got. By the way, brilliant strategy, right? Because this keeps me occupied, so I'm not leaning over his shoulder while he's looking for cars, and I go out and walk. And plus, I'm bonding now with Brian Hughes a little bit. So, you know, these people know how to sell cars, unlike the people in Jackson, Mississippi. So anyway, so we come back in, and Shannon has found some cars. He found one in Ohio. A dealer in Ohio had one that was very much. It wasn't triple nickel, but it was smoke show, which is the other gray. It had the red interior. It had basically everything I wanted. Of course, it also had a lot of stuff I didn't want. But he had gone ahead and put together, while we were out walking around, he had put together a purchase agreement on it. And you can see here that we're already in trouble because, look, the retail price is $63,000. Now remember, the one I spec'd up was $58,000. So this car has an additional $5,000 in options on it that I don't want. Because if I'd wanted them, they would have been on the one I configured. So these are additional options. I think I may have a slide later that shows you what they all are. I may not. I don't remember. And of course, they knock $1,000 off, or not even. They knock a few hundred off. $530. They knocked $530 off. I said, "What?" And he said, "Well, you know, transportation. We have to get it, so that's why we're not giving you our usual discount." And you go on down, and there's all the other stuff. And the sales price then is like $67,000 after tax and everything. And then the rebate is $3,000. If you watch the video, linked up here maybe, or down the below where I build and price, you will discover that the 2021s only have a $3,000 rebate on the Scat Packs and the Scat Pack wide bodies, whereas the 2020s have a almost $5,000. It's $4,850. It's $10 per horsepower. This is just a flat $3,000. So this is going to be a little too pricey for me already. I can tell this is not the car I want. And we look at some other things, and we talk, and so we're talking. By the way, here's the window sticker on the $63,000 one. See, $63,030. And if you go down, see, it has Plus package. I want that. Technology group. I want that. Driver convenience. Have to have that. Oh, Harman Kardon instead of the Alpine. So there's another $800 that I really didn't want to spend, but you know, I could live with it. The shaker package, again, $25.95. The automatic, I was going to pay for that. Sunroof, I kind of wanted that. Oh, wait, summer tires. There's another, what is that? I'm sorry, I can't quite see. Oh, the SRT performance spoiler, $1,000 for a spoiler. Okay, I clearly don't want that. $695 for an upgrade to the tires. The nav system I do want. Oh, an upgrade to the wheels, another $1,300 worth of wheels when the wheels that comes with are perfectly fine. Oh, and red brake calipers. So yes, they have added like another $4,000 or $5,000 in options that I don't want, bringing the price up to $63,000. So this is not the car for me. So we're standing there, and so I'm sitting at Brian, the salesman's desk, which is up by the front window of the showroom. And the sales manager's desk is in the middle of the showroom. And behind the sales manager's desk, back over there, is a Challenger Scat Pack, a 2020. That I had looked at and sat in, and actually I think I even started it up and fooled around with it a little bit. So anyway, so Shannon is standing between me and that Challenger. And he says, well, what could you give up to get the price down? And I said, well, the shaker package would be the first thing to go, because that's just cute, but it's not, you know, $2,600. If it's going to kill the deal, then I don't want it. And I could probably live without the wide body as long as I had at least the 275 wide tires. You know, I'd really rather have the 305s, but that's only on the wide body. So, you know, I could live with that. So, now remember, I'm sitting here. Shannon's standing here looking at me. Right behind him is a Challenger Scat Pack with the wide wheels, that's the 275s. Basically, with everything I want and not a lot of things I don't want. So, Shannon's a good old Southern boy. And he just stands there and he looks at me, and he turns around and looks at the car, and he looks at me, and he looks at the car, and he looks at me. And after a few times, I kind of get his drift, catch his drift, and go, well, let me go look over at that car some more. So here's that car. White knuckle. And again, I'm not big on white cars, but I'd rather have a white car than a black car. It has the RT stripe down the side. Again, not a fan of striped cars, but actually the more I look at it, it grows on you. It's got the 9.5-inch wheels, the locking lug nuts, which is $75 I really didn't need to spend, but eh. The 275 tires. Oh, it has that stupid SRT performance spoiler for $1,000. That I don't need. But then, okay, it has the seats, but instead of red, they're the caramel, which actually, as you can see them right there. They don't look that bad. It has the nav, it has the Alpine audio group, it has the sunroof, it has the dynamics package, plus package, the driver convenience group, technology group. So basically, this is the car, if I was buying a Scat Pack, this is what it would be configured with, except without the performance spoiler, and it would be a different color and have red interior. But this isn't bad. I mean, I could live with this. So Shannon says, "Well, let me write this one up and see how that works out." So see, he's played me brilliantly. I tip my hat to you, Shannon Bartlett. I will be sending him a link to this so he can enjoy this, because he played me perfectly. He got me to basically settle on the car that he had sitting in his showroom. It's just the color and the interior color and the spoiler. These are the only differences between that and the car that I kind of really want. Okay. By the way, here's this window sticker of the white one that's sitting on the showroom floor behind Shannon. And you can see it comes out to $53,715. It should be $52 because it shouldn't have that stupid spoiler on it, but you know, what are you going to do? But it has everything I want. It has all the options that I really want. It even has the options I kind of want. It only has one option that I really don't want, which is the spoiler. And I've since learned, by the way, that the spoiler is actually an improvement because the camera, the backup camera, is in the spoilers. They're in the spoilers. And the SRT performance spoiler is sloped more, so the camera points down a little bit more. So in this camera, you can see the rear bumper, the very tip of the rear bumper. So you know exactly how close you are. With the regular spoiler, the camera's pointed a little farther out and you actually can't see the back end of the car. You can see almost, but you actually see the back. So it's actually a better rear view camera. So I'm going, Well, let's see what kind of deal we can do. So there he is. Puts together the deal, $1,000 off MSRP, liking that already. Already they're negotiating. See, the price is negotiable. Oh, funny little side story. When I was earlier, before while we were waiting to meet Shannon, I was sitting in that car and there was a little thing, a little card on the dashboard, and I picked it up. And it said, dealer added options, nitrogen-filled tires, and something else, $158. It was just sitting on the card, extra $158. Well, of course, when I'm telling them the story about the Jackson, Mississippi and their $1,800 protection package and how, oh my God, and how mad that made me. Well, apparently Brian Hughes, my sales rep, walked over to the car and took that little card off the thing and like wadded up and threw it away. Because you don't see that $158 on the purchase agreement. He didn't want to set me off. So they threw away the $150. He wasn't going to lose the deal over $158. The processing fees, the taxes. So we're looking at a sales price, out the door price. Well, actually, this is not the outdoor price. That's a $57,000 is the price before the rebate. You take out the $48.50 rebate, but then of course then they subtract out the cash down, so you really can't see. So it's really $47,400 plus $5. So what? $52,400 roughly is the out the door price. Why am I making a big thing about $52,400 being out the door price? Well, if you watched my other video, you know that I swear by YourAutoAdvocate.com. Ray and Zach Shevska, they have a great thing. And by the way, this was, if Oh, it's not on the screen. But if you scrolled up a little, it would say, this report is 2 months old. Because I pulled this report earlier on when I was looking at cars on dealer lots. So I already had a report on this car. And if you look, this is what I want to call to your attention to. Out the door price estimate, $52,987. And I just told you that my out the door price on that purchase agreement was like $52,500. And the dealer price that's almost dead on what that's a little higher, I think, than I tell you, these guys are good. Now, by the way, look down at the bottom, Ray's recommendation, they're not going to deal. And in fact, they didn't deal. They gave me a flat $1,000 off, I guess because I was a friend of, Shannon's friend. And that was it. But again, the numbers are kind of working out in my favor. By the way, apparently wherever your auto advocate scraped the information, it says transmission manual. It's not a manual, it's an automatic. But everything else was correct. Oh, by the way, here's the out the price calculator, and you can see the selling price is slightly different. I'll see if future editing me can go in and put in my selling price, my sales tax, and all my numbers, and get my actual out the door price and have it on the screen next to these. If so, it should be there now. If not, oh well. It should be there now. I think editing me can handle that. I can do overlays on stuff. Anyway, so, but again, yourautoadvocate.com, these guys are good. I mean, that is pretty much what my out the door price ended up being. So, God bless these guys. And again, I told you in the last video, I'll tell you in this video, go watch their videos. If you ever going to buy a car, they're worth watching. If you're buying one anytime in like the next 6 months, you should start watching now, because they will teach you all the tricks that dealers use. And by the way, because of these guys, because of your auto advocate, I know the kind of tricks dealers pull. That's how I knew about the dealer protection package nonsense, which I mentioned to these guys. They just threw that away. But these guys weren't that kind of, again, theirs was $158, not $1,700. So theirs wasn't ridiculous. I mean, $158 for nitrogen seems a little excessive. Anyway, so these guys are good. So use yourautoadvocate.com. You can get market price reports. You can find out how long cars have been sitting, so you'll know, and they give you a little deal index. It's a great, great, great service. I can't recommend them enough. Okay. Well, so you may be wondering what happened. I bought the car. So now you're thinking, well, wait a minute. This is a car channel. You bought the car. Where's the video of the car? I go to car channels to see videos of cars. Well, I wanted to get through all the deal stuff and the stuff with when I have the numbers on the screen and all that. The next video will be the car. I will get out of my office here and out in the driveway, or maybe even go somewhere nice, but I will take my cameras outside and inside the car, and I will give you a tour of the car and show you all the features and basically give you a little mini review, because I've been driving it for a while now. About a week. I've had it about a week. So anyway, so this was the buying experience. Homer Skelton, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram in Millington, Tennessee. Ask for Brian Hughes for your salesman. Ask for Shannon Bartlett for your sales manager. Oh, I forgot to mention one more other thing while I was there. Remember the bell? I told you about the bell? While we were there, now we were there, like hours, like I think 5 hours in total doing all this, going through all the iterations and everything. The bell rang like 5 times. including, and I rang it eventually at the around 6 o'clock that evening. They sell a lot of cars. And now you know why, because it was no bull, it was no, let's add this stuff on, it was, no, we'll give you a straight, here's a little discount off of MSRP, I probably could have gotten a better deal, but I got the car I wanted, pretty close to the price I wanted to pay for it. That had a $1,000 option I didn't want, but they knocked $1,000 off the MSRP. So I feel like, again, from the other video, I think it was just kind of meant to be. This was the car I was meant to buy. Kind of how I feel. So come back for the next one where you'll actually get to see this car and hear it, and I'll drive around in it, and I have bought all sorts of cameras for mounting inside the car and stuff, so I can be like a real car channel where I'll drive around talking to you and stuff. But that's starting with the next video. So come back for that. I'll see you then.